Well, class of 2025 and members of the audience, it is a privilege and honor to invite to the podium for what is certain to be an awe-inspiring speech of visionary leader and innovator and your newest classmate. Please join me in giving an enthusiastic Tiger welcome to Dr. Astro Teller.
You finished the tutorial level. You know how to work the controls. The game of life doesn't come with a clear mission, so you're in explore mode now. Or maybe survival mode, depending on how you're feeling. I get that the world may not feel like your oyster, and I am not going to tell you that everything is going to be okay. But I'm going to get specific about the benefits of approaching life with optimism, excitement, humility, and curiosity. Not because things can't go wrong, but because the rest of your life, this thing you're about to go make, is the ultimate act of creation. And the mindset you bring to that creation process will determine the journey you make and how you experience that journey. Getting your mindset right is the hardest and most rewarding thing you will ever do, and it takes a lifetime to get right. The only thing I have on the door of my office is a poster of the tarot card of the Fool. I don't believe the tarot cards are magic, but as the captain of Moonshots, my job is to help people start new audacious journeys. And the best metaphor I know for the creation journey is the Fool. In the card, the Fool is heading out on an adventure, looking up as he steps off of a literal cliff into the figurative unknown. With almost no belongings, no protection, no idea where the journey will take him. Seeing the unknowns not as something to be avoided or controlled, but as itself the source of the magic to be found. The essence of the Fool is potential, just like each of you in this moment. The Fool is always in the beginner's mind, an attitude of openness, non-judgment, and lack of preconception. Knowing the right way to do things is helpful, but it's also a mental prison. If you're brainstorming, the beginner's mind is what unlocks creativity. But the gravitational force of normalcy and seriousness is profoundly strong and makes maintaining that mindset harder as we age. I couldn't access my beginner's mind if I was worried what everyone thought of me. Any fear of looking foolish would block my creativity. So, to keep my creativity high, I make a point of wearing something every single day that is silly. Usually, it's my socks and my underwear. No one can see my socks and my underwear, and of course my underwear doesn't make me a great brainstormer. But having a habit that reminds me every day to say open, curious, lighthearted, and silly in my approach to even serious things keeps my beginner's mind active, and that does show up in how I brainstorm. I challenge you to find your own lighthearted daily habit that reminds you not to worry about seeming foolish. Ford, Edison, the Wright brothers, seeming foolish is good company to keep. Learning to embrace being the Fool doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can ramp into it, starting with smaller bites if that helps you get started. Your annoying classmate who asked a lot of stupid questions, maybe they were just trying to deepen their understanding of the fundamentals and didn't care how it sounded when they asked. Being the Fool in a smaller way at first. Here's another way to embody the fool. That podium distances the speaker from the audience. It sends a physical signal that there's a wall between the speaker and the audience, and that the speaker is more important than the audience. The fool wouldn't stand behind a podium, which is why I make a point not to give talks behind podiums. I challenge you to do something similar for the rest of your life. Pick a habit which regularly removes protective barriers between you and the world. Working to be the fool doesn't mean be stupid. The fool keeps the energy and openness of youth while building wisdom. The court jester, often called the fool, was the one person in court who could speak the truth and get away with it. Wouldn't that be something if you could live your life? Instead of drowning in office politics, you could speak the truth. The fool isn't unprotected. He has made armor from his vulnerability and forged a tool from the truth. I challenge you to find your own way to make your vulnerability feel protective and the truth a better tool for you than conformity. I am not saying that everything will always go your way or that you can't lose. If I gave you a choice between $100 and a 10% chance at $10,000, you would all pick the 10% chance at $10,000. Thanks to RIT, you can all calculate expected utility. That's the secret of the happy confidence of the fool. Not confidence that everything will go perfectly, but confidence there's often a big positive arbitrage in choosing the unknown. I challenge you to judge the unknowns in your life for their expected utility, not their risk, and to take as many high expected utility adventures as you can find, no matter how risky they are. You will likely have lower payoffs in the short term and much better payoffs in the long run if you play things that way. And if you want to make the world a meaningfully better place and not just more of the same, you're going to have to take those same kinds of uncomfortable bets. When I was sitting where you are now, I had an epiphany. I had been feeling crushed under the weight of expectation of what I should accomplish. I bet you some of you know that feeling. It made the future feel like an impossible test, where anything less than an A+ was a failure. As a result, I was dreading the future. So I made a deal with myself. I would stop chasing outcomes. In exchange, I committed to myself that I would approach each day with passion, sincerity, humility, and curiosity. And I would judge myself on how much I was learning and improving, which I can control, not how much I was achieving, which I have much less control over. That made the future seem brighter and easier. I've had great success in life, and while much of it was luck, it happened because of my learning focus, not despite it. When the fool sets out on his journey, since he doesn't even know where he's going, he sets a high learning and curiosity bar, not a high achievement bar. I challenge you to let go of how much achievement is good enough and try holding yourself to a high learning and curiosity bar instead. A study on luck asked participants to categorize themselves as either lucky or unlucky, and then afterwards read a facsimile newspaper with the assignment of counting the number of articles about England. Into this fake newspaper, the researchers had put a quarter-page ad that said in huge font, "Tell the researcher you saw this and get $100. Every participant got the same fake newspaper. Most of the lucky participants saw the ad and got $100. Many fewer of the unlucky participants saw the ad. A lot of what makes luck is being open to serendipity. The lucky participants looked at the non-task relevant parts of the newspaper, seeing the ad. In the same way, the fool loves side quests and often goes looking for them. I challenge you to push down your focus and see how high you can turn up your curiosity. Yes, you have to file your taxes on time. But don't let that become an excuse to get stuck in largely focused goal-chasing mode. You will get more in life and you will have more fun getting it if you are open to side quests. And you will find and take more side quests and get more out of them if you surround yourself with friends and mentors who encourage you to color outside the lines. Yoda's advice, do or do not, there is no try, often lands as an indictment of trying that like flies in the face of the fools stepping out into the unknown. But Yoda understands that life is almost all try, with a light sprinkling of got it done. His coaching is the Jedi equivalent of, as they say in martial arts, punch through the board. If you go into any adventure flinching, it will not go your way. You have to lean in to each adventure in your life as though you will succeed, even while having the humility to know most adventures don't go as planned. I see that leaning in the fool's jaunty step off the cliff. And I challenge you to lean in to each adventure in your life as though you will succeed. And finally, when the fool steps off the cliff, that's not blindness or negligence. The fool sees every challenge as an opportunity. A challenge can feel like a burden, something we might resent. An opportunity is a gift, something to be grateful for. The fool's constant gratitude is what allows every journey to feel like an opportunity rather than a challenge. Feeling grateful profoundly changes how we experience our lives. I wear something around my neck every day to remind me to practice gratitude, not in denial of the hard things about life, but even gratefulness for those hard things. I challenge you to make your own daily practice of being grateful. It will help you to see obstacles as adventures. Don't just go live your life. Go create it. And being foolish is core to the act of creation. The need to not look foolish is a burden none of us carried when we were 5, is a burden all of us carry as we graduate from college. And we unlock freedom, happiness, and success as we learn to put that burden down again. I wish you all amazing, surprising, delightful adventures as you head out from Brick City today. And I strongly encourage you to pick a few daily reminders that the more expert you are, the more precious being the fool becomes. Good luck and congratulations again, graduating class of 2025.